Good morning, all of you. Hope you had gone through the earlier video lecture on load flow studies. Load flow studies or power flow studies is to analyze the system buses. That means at each and every bus we will be calculating the power like real power, reactive power, magnitude of voltage and corresponding angle. So normally out of these four, two will be specified, two will be given, and the remaining two are to be solved. And depending on the values that are specified, the bus classification is given. It is PV buses, PQ buses, and slack bus. These are the three categories you can see in any system. And solving for the unknowns, having given the two quantities, remaining two are to be solved, and that requires only the iterative methods. That means only trial and error method is to be used, because all these equations, they are non-linear simultaneous equations, which involves also the complex values, because all these voltages, powers and all, they are complex values, and hence we need to use only the techniques like Gauss-Seidel, Newton-Raphson, and then further to speed up the process, particularly for large networks, we use decoupled methods, fast decoupled methods, and so on and so forth. And anyway, the iterative methods, to understand in a better manner, I will be explaining with two simple examples here, and later we go with our actual power system problem. So first let me explain what is Gauss method and then Gauss-Seidel method through an example. So as I said, these are iterative procedures for solving simultaneous nonlinear equations. So you consider two equations like y minus 3x plus 1.9 equal to 0. That is one equation. The other is y plus x square minus 1.8 equal to 0. So let the equations y minus 3x plus 1.9 equal to 0, that is first equation, and second one is y plus x square minus 1.8 equal to 0. Then to solve these equations using Gauss method, so suppose we are asked to solve these two using Gauss method, the first step is we need to extract x from this and y from the second, like x equal to y by 3 plus 0.6333 and y equal to 1.8 minus x square. Okay, so you see, in first equation we are taking out x, so 3x is 1.9 plus y, or x is y by 3 plus 1.9 by 3, that is this. Likewise here y is 1.8 minus x square. So let me mark these are 1 and 2, first and second equations. Now make an initial guess. In any iterative procedure, you need to first substitute some guess values. So initially what we substitute, they are called initial values or initial guess values. So let that value x naught equal to 1 and y naught equal to 1. So this is guess. Initial guess values. So we are just considering x naught 1 and y naught 1, and you need to substitute x naught in first equation, so that x1 equal to y0 by 3 plus 0.6333 So in this substitute y naught, which is 1. So this is going to be 0.966. So let this be 3. So likewise, to take y1, substitute 1.8 minus x0 square. This is 0.8. So let this be fourth equation. So what we did is, initial values like x naught, y naught are assumed, assuming that substitute and update first equation. So that becomes x1. x1 is y naught by 3 plus this, that is this. And y1, 1.8 minus x naught square. So that is going to be 0.8. The successive iterations are computed in more general way. That is like, what is x2 now? Let this be 5. x2 is y1 by 3 plus 0.6333. So this value is let this be something. Likewise, y2 is 1.8 minus x1 square. So this is 5 and 6. So you can calculate what is y1. y1 is 0.8, x2 is y1 0.8 by 3 plus something, and y2 is 1.8 minus x1 square. So substitute x1 is 0.966 and you get it. So this is to be continued. So each set is one iteration. So this is initial set of values, first set, that is first iteration, second iteration, and so on and so forth. So more generally we write this as xn is, what is xn? Xn is yn minus 1, or you can write xn plus 1. At any n plus 1th iteration, xn plus 1 is yn by 3 plus 0.6333. Likewise, yn plus 1 is 1.8 minus xn square. So these are general. General form for this example. So xn plus 1th iteration, at any n plus 1th iteration, yn by 3 plus 0.6333. yn plus 1 is 1.8 minus xn square. So like that you can continue any number of iterations. And what is the end? When do we stop? That is, you should always find out the error, that means the previous values to present values difference. Suppose x1 is 0.9666, x2 is something else. So this difference, that is called error. Likewise, y1, y2 difference, that is error in y. If these errors are exactly 0, we say that the solution is converged, solution is perfect, it is obtained without any deviation. So normally getting such an exact value with error 0 is impossible in any of these trial and error methods. So normally we aim at some error like 0.0001 or 0.001, something like that. So if we attain that difference, we stop there. We say that the problem is solved or the solution is converged. Converged means satisfied. So we stop there. So to get that accuracy, we may proceed with number of iterations. Then how many iterations normally it requires? That depends on the initial guess values. If you can guess the values properly, that means close to the actual solution, then you may end up with less number of iterations. If your guess values are very deviated, suppose x is 1, y is 1 is the solution. If you are assuming x naught 1 and y naught 1, automatically in first iteration itself you get the convergence. Suppose if you assume x naught 100, y naught 100, that means very much deviation from the actual values, then you need to continue maybe 20-25 iterations. Okay. So only experts who are having more touch with the problems and all, they can only guess the better values. So initial guess is more powerful. You should be able to guess the values properly. So which means close to the realistic solution. Then you can end up the iterations quickly. So this is what is called Gauss method. So first, Gauss method. The procedure is simple. In first, if there are two variables, two equations are given. From first equation extract x, second equation extract y. Then initial guess, make an initial guess, substitute the values, complete first iteration, then get the updated values, substitute these values back, you get the results at the end of second iteration, and then it is to be continued. Okay, this is Gauss method. Then in Gauss-Seidel method, the difference between Gauss method and Gauss-Seidel method is Gauss-Seidel method gives quick solution. That is, the difference between this and the other, that is Gauss and Gauss-Seidel, is the procedure is same as usual. You are writing x, y, initial guess, everything is same. But only thing is, you see here, while calculating x1, it is y naught by 3 plus 0.333, this is okay. Now I am giving Gauss-Seidel, okay. And while calculating y1, it is 1.8 minus, earlier it is x naught square. But instead of that, what Gauss-Seidel says is substitute most updated available values, which means instead of substituting x naught, already x1 is available, substitute that here, so that the equation becomes 1.8 minus x1 square. Okay. So whatever value you get, you write that one here. And while computing x2, it is y1 by 3, because most available is y1 plus 0.633, and y2, which is 1.8 minus, what is this? Already you are having x2 available, so substitute that. So in the subsequent iterations, whatever are the latest values that are available, those values you can substitute so that quick convergence can be obtained. So here in generalized form also, xn plus 1 is yn by 3 plus 0.663, yn plus 1 is 1.8 minus x n plus 1 whole square. Okay, this is Gauss-Seidel. The difference between Gauss and Gauss-Seidel is, in Gauss we will be blindly substituting iteration wise the values, whereas in Gauss-Seidel you will be substituting most recent values which are available. Okay, so you might be calculating x, while calculating y, the updated x can be substituted. Suppose there are three equations x, y, z, you will be substituting x naught, y naught, or you are guessing x naught, y naught, z naught, and in substituting x naught, that is x1, you will be substituting y naught, z naught as usual. While going for y1, you substitute x1 which is already available, okay, and then z1, and finally when you go for z1 you substitute x1 latest, y1 latest, because they are already evaluated. So most updated values are to be substituted as given by Gauss-Seidel. So Gauss-Seidel definitely yields quick results than Gauss. So this is what is Gauss-Seidel and Gauss methods. So let us go through another small example, so that in next class we directly go with our power system problem. So just to take a small example, solve x square minus 6x plus 2 equal to 0 using GS method. So only one equation is given, and let x naught equal to 1. And what is x in this? X is 1 by 6 x square plus 1 by 3. So I am just extracting x is 1 by 6 x square plus 1 by 3 it becomes. So this is nothing but f of x rather. Okay. Now go with the substitution. So calculate x1, x2, x3 and so on and so forth. What is x1? x1 is 1 by 6 x naught square plus 1 by 3. x2 1 by 6 x1 square plus 1 by 3 and so on and so forth. So the values for your sake I will be giving. This is 0.5, then x4 the value of x4 is 0.3543. Okay. So you can see x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, the values how they are getting deviated. First one is 0.5, second is 0.375, third is 3565, 0.3545, 0.3543. That means what is error here? That is xn plus 1 minus xn. What is the difference? Suppose you calculate error here, x5 minus x4, that is going to be 0.0002, the difference between these two. This is what is called error, epsilon. So which is sufficiently small, hence you can stop. Suppose you want further accuracy, you can still continue the iterations, and if error becomes 0, as I said, that is the perfect solution. Otherwise you can say that this is the value that is unknown, x 0.3543, because you are getting an error which is comfortably small, 0.002. Suppose if the problem says error is to be less than or equal to 0.0001, then you are supposed to continue further up to the point where the error becomes 0001, 0.0001. And if the problem says error is 0.0002 is sufficient, less than or equal to, then you can stop here. That means how many iterations that are taken here? 5 iterations with an initial guess of 1. Suppose if guess value is a worst guess, then you may not end up with 4 or 5 iterations. Okay, so this is what is the procedure to be adopted using Gauss-Seidel method. So similarly, we will be applying even for our power system solution. But remember to solve our power system a problem using this Gauss-Seidel method. The steps involved, they are already given. You need one-line diagram of the system and also the data. So first thing is single line diagram. This is the first one required. Second one is the data of the elements. So transmission lines, transformers, and then alternators, loads, etc. Their complete specifications are required. Then third one is Y bus. So this is to be formed. All of you know how to form Y bus. You can make use of step-by-step procedure or direct inspection method, and this Y bus is to be formed. Once Y bus is formed, then you can make use of the static load flow equations to solve P, Q, V, delta. So these are the 4 quantities, out of which 2 are given, so that the buses are classified into 3: slack bus, then PV bus, PQ bus. Okay. So out of this, 2 are specified. If P and V are specified, that is called PV bus. If P and Q are specified, that is PQ bus. If V and delta are specified, then that is slack bus. So depending on the specified quantities, that means known quantities, remaining are unknown, and we apply accordingly the Gauss-Seidel method. So how to apply Gauss-Seidel method and all in detail with suitable examples we can take up in next class. Thank you.